Hmm. Eddie, what's your take on it?
As a business owner, talk about food. I only have one opportunity, right? And it's not based on whether this particular race or that particular race. I work with all sorts of people, but there is a stigma that because this is a black person behind this business, you have to be on point at all times, right? So I get what y'all saying in that regard. And then seeing it from this end, I just have that mentality, period, right? I always want to make sure that if you bite any of my plates, you dig into any of the food that I make, is the best food you ever had, right? Because that's the only impression I got. I may never see you again unless you hire me as a client, whatever, right? So there's that aspect. On the latter end, it's like, do I always get that? No. And then like most of my clientele is black folks, but I noticed the physical language is always there. It's just like, oh, you know how to cook, this and that, yada yada yada, right? Up until they had the food, it's just like, damn, this is really good. But outside of that, it's like I can tell immediately that the reactions I get, I'm almost 100% certain that it's not the case with other ethnicities and their businesses, right? There's a little more grace in that regard, right? It's like I can give these people over here a little more opportunity to let me down, if that makes sense. Because the one thing that wasn't discussed yet was the self-hatred aspect, which goes into whether or not a business is good as well. The same way it's easy for us to kill each other, the same way it's easier for us to be traitors to each other in all other sorts of ways. It's easy for you to walk into a black business. I'm like, let me see if these niggas know what they're doing over here. Oh, okay. Oh, I actually had a good experience versus walking in there and having that expectation, period. You walk in with a deficit mindset already until they prove you wrong. With other people, we don't do that shit. It's like, oh, it's nice. The food must be nice, and then the food is trash. It's like, oh, I guess I went there before. It was alright. Versus a black business, it's like, yo, bro, don't mess with them. It's trash over there. But you got Chinese people cooking rats and dogs and shit, calling it dim sum, and you going back every weekend with a side of rice. So
Mm, 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 mm. Nay, what's your thoughts on it?
I'm kind of agreeing with Eddie and Bub. I think that we should give the same level of grace to our own that we give to everyone else. To be perfectly honest with you, any black-owned business before it comes about, especially if it's a brick and mortar business, goes through your chamber of commerce. It has the backing from them, so they probably have already done some training and some professional development. You're going to have that backing. So I personally think that we should extend some level of grace to them so that you can invest in your own people.
Yeah. I think one of the key components to it is that the starting point is different. So if you had to fund your own business, that is difficult, especially if you don't get funded. If you notice, they give us loans for houses and cars, right? We are loaned to less for small business loans, right? Because they know we want our car, they know we need our house, but they don't fund us in that way. So a lot of people are doing this shit out of pocket. So when they trying to do payroll, they literally robbing Peter to pay Paul. Because I've
Not
been there
necessarily,
before. Yeah,
not
yeah.
necessarily though.
So
They have the
yeah,
federal
so
funding.
no, that huh?
They have federal funding for small businesses. They do.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
Oh,
if you look at those things, right? They do have a percentage that needs to be given to minority owned businesses, right? But that is a percentage, and when it runs out, then what, right? And you can only account for fees that you can account for, right? You don't account for the water heater going out or the ice maker breaking down on you, right? So there's several things that happen that you need liquid cash on hand that we don't have. So when that payroll is a day late and maybe $1 short, is because he had to replace this, that, and the third, right? These are things that we don't think about. But if you've never been in it, it's easy to say we can't give them grace, but this shit is hard for real.
but that's why I feel like we do have all these different things. You'll have grants and things for women-owned businesses, for minority-owned businesses, for locally owned businesses, and I felt like personally, Black people will get the most grants.
Prove
And
it.
and just like that, reason why I wasn't even on last week was because
Prove
it
it
was
though.
a situation where it was a minority-owned business and a white-owned business.
Minority is not just niggas,
I know, but they don't want to say Black-owned mainly, so it'll be
but it ain't
minority-owned. But
though. I know specifically in Middletown, a bar, a restaurant did not get opened, and it was being trying to be opened by a black man. Right? We see that. They try to call these Italians minorities at some point because Hannibal took it over for 40 years and they had sex a little bit in Sicily, right?
Well, I
So,
voted no on somebody who was not black. I voted yes to, to the black.
well, yeah, shout out to that, right? But they can say minority and they can say women, and then with those two things you can exclude niggas.
And that was the main reason why I voted no. I voted yes to the minority, which was not white, and it was
Yeah,
a woman-owned business.
yeah, got you. Anybody else want to get in on this? B, Isha, Mary.
I do. So I'm with A and Alex. Like, I don't believe that just because we're black, we should be given grace. I'm big on customer service. So I've walked into an establishment where somebody, a Caucasian has been before me, and they're like, "Hey, good morning. How can I help you?" And then they look at me and say, "What's up?" Like, I feel like I don't get the same, energy in return as I would give a black business. Like, me being a black person as well is just kind of like, okay, why don't you invest, that much energy into me being a black person as I would you being a black business? So I've had hairstylists that have been black and they're not on time, or they're just, just not giving me the same energy that they would give a white person or a Caucasian person per se. So I'm not going to give you the same grace, especially when it comes to customer service. You either are going to be good to me during customer service or you're not going to be good to me during customer service. I don't care who you are, whether you be white, black, yellow, green, red. I don't care. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of these black businesses try to get a pass from other people that are black and just be like, oh, they're supposed to just, have this standard of me because we both black. No, treat me the same that you're going to treat me as these Caucasian people that walk in this establishment. Don't treat me differently because you think we bros. Like, we're not. You know what
You're
I'm
not.
saying? So I feel like I don't think that I would get the same. I don't. In my experience, I haven't gotten the same respect as a black woman walking to a black establishment as somebody that would be white walking in right beside me. It's like they're more patient or they're more understanding. To me, they want to talk to me a certain kind of way, and it's just like I don't want to walk in and be like, "Hey, what's up, sis?" Like, no, don't talk to me like that. Talk to me how you just talk to this person over here. Like, tell me good morning. Tell me, what would you
Damn.
like, or
So you don't like that?
that aspect. No,
Yeah, see, I think so. In DC, it's different. Like white people be feeling some type way, because I walk in, they be like, "Oh, what's up, brother?" And then we on that type of time. But one time I was like, "My nigga, you lucky you black, or else I'll be on your ass." So I feel like it's better that way. But maybe I'm bugging. Now
no.
you
For
had your
I
hand
want
up.
the same respect. Like,
Hold
I
on,
want
Mary, because you know you're gonna say the same thing over. Hold on. Go ahead,
Okay.
Nay.
It was, well, when Mary was saying, and it's not just Mary, but everybody was saying like they don't get the same level of grace. And to be perfectly honest with you, we'll go shop and Stop and Shop, and they may not give us the best customer service. Stop and Shop is a Belgian owned company, but we gonna shop heavy in Stop and Shop. We're not gonna say, you know what, it was poor customer service, I ain't going there. We're still gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
We're still gonna go there. And there's not a lot of black owned supermarkets. I think there's like one that I've heard of somewhere like Texas or something. But
Mm-hmm.
we'll still shop in these places. So I feel like, you know what, it should be a level of grace. I'm just saying it should
Yeah.
be.
So Nay, you saying we go to the next white owned business, and the next white owned business, and the next white owned business, and allow
No,
them
I'm
to do
saying,
us dirty. But one black company would be like, you know what? Fuck all these niggas.
yeah, that's what we'll end up
No, but
doing.
why don't you, as a black-owned company, treat me the same way that you treat these white people? Like, I feel like these black-owned companies give more to these white people that walk in their establishments than they do to black people.
Could it be that the white people are spending more money with them?
But that's what they assume. You know what I'm saying? You assume that because I'm black, maybe I don't have as much money as this white person. Because you'd be surprised. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And our people are quick to ask for a discount and not want to pay full price as well. So that could be
Yeah,
the
so that goes both ways, Mary. Exactly what
but that's
Isha just said. It
but that's
goes
what
both
I'm
White
saying.
ways.
people do it
But
too.
treat me the same way that you're gonna treat these white people, and you'll see.
Okay,
right.
so say they give the white person one less cornbread and upcharge them. You want that treatment?
You said one less cornbread and upcharge. Listen, no, just treat me. Listen, customer service goes
Nah,
a
you.
long way. Customer service go a long way. Treat me the same way that you're gonna treat. And when I walk in a place, I expect to be greeted. I've been in black establishments where they just kind of disregard me. No, greet me the same way that you're gonna greet this white person that just walked in here. You know what
Listen,
I'm saying?
I flew America
At the end of the day, money is still green.
But I flew American Airlines and I had a white person at the ticketing booth and they had the nastiest attitude. Did that mean I'm like, nah, I'm not flying American Airlines? No, the hell I'm not. I'm still going to fly. I don't like your attitude, but I'm going to still fly. And it's what it is.
Another example
and the black
is,
person was nicer.
remember when Gucci?
I feel like a lot of black
You gonna
places
get
when they come to black people walking in their establishment, like they feel like because you black, you gonna get it or you gonna understand.
or because they're black, they follow you around the store too.
Right.
Let Isha get the last final comment on this one. What's up, Isha?
I agree with Bub because remember when Gucci had the blackface and everybody was like, "Oh, we're not buying Gucci," but everybody Gucci down. Or H&M had the little black monkey. Oh, we're not shopping at H&M, but we still stop shopping at H&M. All they need to do is say, "I'm sorry," and we go back to give them our business. But black business, they can't even say sorry. We want to cut them off. We don't want to mentor them. We don't want to do anything. We just want to cut them off.
So we gave them grace, basically. So we can give our people grace too.
Absolutely.
H&M ain't even have to say sorry. Their shit just fits me. So it was a no-brainer.
Jesus.
Wow.
Interesting, man. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. That is an interesting conversation.